Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is a step-by-step tutorial for IKEA BISSA Shoe Rack. So this is a 3-level shoe rack and I'm going to show you all the steps of assembling it. Yep, so here's all my hardware. I have all my hardware in this box. That's all. I'll show all the things which are needed for the assembly of the BISSA shoe rack. So this is all the stuff which came inside the box. So I have separated all of them. So the first step which I would be doing is separating all the screws and all the attachments which have been given in this packet according to the number which has been mentioned in the booklet. So this step is really important. If you don't do it, you will mess up later. So it's always better to separate all the screws out in the beginning. So this is the first step. I have separated all the screws and all the bits which were given in the packet according to this which is mentioned on the first page of the booklet. So step 1 is to find these screws and screw them into these two big boards as per the instructions mentioned here. So next step, after you screw, so this is how it's done. You have to screw these 4 long screws into these holes. And now I'm going on to the next step. Step 2. Step 2 is basically finding this and screw them according to this picture. Step 2 is done. I have fixed these white hooks onto the boards. There were 6 of them, so all of them fixed. So step 3 and 4 according to the book is finding these rectangular small slabs. So there are 2 types of slabs. One which has this hole, so this is category 1, this is category 1. And this does not have a hole. So you have to fix them with these small bits that have been given, this one. And now I'll hammer them down to fit them properly. Now it's time to find these screws and put them in these holes. I'll tell you how to put in these screws. So this is the hole and there is a pointer on this screw. So this pointer has to be towards the screw. So if it is placed correctly, it will go completely inside. And when this is put inside, you give it a twist, almost a 180-degree twist. So this would lock. Yeah, here you go. Okay, once this is done, next step is to place both the boards together. So I'll place this part on top of this board now. That's how it looks like right now. Now it's time to close these holes. Again, we'll use these screws and we'll close these gaps. This is how it looks like right now. Now it's time to tilt it over and place it over the base. So this is the base which we did in step 1 and 2. So that's the base. Now we'll place it onto this. I have tilted the shoe rack. So this is actually the base. So instead of following how it's written here, I have inverted it completely, so it's easier for me to push it down properly. So before I lock it, I will place these holders onto these holes. And just a quick tip, so we ensure that the rough part is towards the back. So there's a rough part and then here's a smooth part. So we ensure the rough one is towards the back. So this is now locked firmly. Now I'll again turn it over. So we take these screws and put them back here. So there are 4 holes here on the base. So now we are on step 11. We find these pins and hammer them down onto the base like this. So next step is to find 3 boards like this. So this is first one, second one, third one. These screws, these 24 screws and these sides. So now I'm going to screw them onto these boards like this. Okay, so we are right now on step number 13. So before step number 13, I have prepared these 3 holders. That's how they look. And now you would be having these options in front of you. So this is smallest, a little medium and the large. Basically you have to prepare 3 of them like this, and now you'll be fixing the base for all 3 of them. So I have already fixed them here, and now I'll be putting this one in this. And then after this, we'll move on to step 14, which is basically holding these boards using these screws. So these are the screws which I'll be using right now, and I'll be screwing them here on the sides for all of these shells. Yeah, so this is how it looks like after you screw them. So all 3 of the shelves have been screwed. Now I am moving on to step number 15. Step number 15 says I need these, the smallest planks. So there were 3 sizes. So this is the biggest one. This is the medium size. This is the smallest one. So this is the smallest one, which I'll be taking up and placing them here on the shoe rack. So this is how it looks like right now. So these boards are placed. Now I am moving on to step 17. It says that I need to tilt down the shoe rack again, and from the back side I need to place all these drawers. So yep. So here's how it goes inside. Just put it down like this, yeah, and slide it in. Yeah, that's it. For the third rack, you slide it in from the bottom. You won't be able to fit it through here. So here it goes. The third rack, you have to do a slight fix instead of. So once you've placed it like this, you push it a little forward, and now this falls down on the ground, and here you go. So that's the correct way to place it. Now moving on to step 21 is basically to fix these racks in their places. So for this you will be needing this piece and these screws, and the place where you screw them is here. You see this? That's where you screw it. Once you are done screwing these white pieces, you can now tilt your rack. It is almost done. Just a few minor steps left. You've tilted over the rack. This is actually the last step. So all you have to do is find the remaining 3 boards, place them according to the way you like it. So if you like to keep smaller shoes towards the back, you can place it a little towards the back, or if you want to keep the partitions equal, you can place them according to yourself. It's pretty easy. So yeah, here it goes. That's how you put it on all 3 of them. And yes, this was pretty much it. So okay, one last step which you would like to do, I am not doing it right now because I still have to finalize the position of the shoe rack, is to fix it to the wall. So now the only things which I have left are these 2 screws, these 2 washers, and this. So this is basically for screwing the shoe rack to the wall. The steps are pretty clear and easy. You can follow them accordingly. So these boards, once you place them, so I would rather not screw them. So this is basically an option for me placing the way I like to keep my shoes. So this distance can be changed. So I can remove this board and place it accordingly. If you know exactly where you would like to keep them, you can screw these boards as well. So we still have these screws remaining. You have to use these screws and screw them to the place so this will stop moving. And yes, you're ready with your shoe rack.